Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video about talents and abilities on Project Ascension. In the last episode we discussed the best possible talents that help you to increase your critical strike chance. Huge thanks for all the kind feedback and hitting that like button. It helps out the channel a lot and makes working on guides like this much more rewarding, so thanks again, much appreciated. Today's video will be about improving your physical damage output. You could argue that increasing your crit chance falls under the same category, but structure-wise I think it made sense to group that topic into its own guide. And as with my last one, I have to give credit where credit is due, so thanks Live for providing the community with this helpful spreadsheet. With those things being said, let's get started. You can improve your physical DPS through a wide area of possibilities like stat boosts, flat damage percentage increase, haste buffs, or even resource modifiers that will raise your rage and energy pools. As you might expect, some of those skills are amongst the higher tier of talents and by that only available at later levels. But you can even find some gems at the lower to mid-range section of the talent trees, as you will be able to see with some examples in this part. Although, for our first and probably most broken talent, the former rule applies. Once you hit level 50 and take a look at the Combat Rogue talent tree, you will find Savage Combat.
Brutal, savage, wrecked.
Spending only 2 talent essences will grant you an amazing attack power boost of 4%, which means a 2% increase per TE. As if this would not be good enough already, the damage that you deal on targets that are affected by your poisons will be increased by another 4%. Even without those venomous enchants, Savage Combat is well worth picking up, and if your build actually includes some sort of poison, you really cannot afford to pass on this great power up. Keep in mind though that this will only affect melee attack power, but if your ranged build is remotely hybrid or includes some sort of poisonous sting, the 4% damage increase should make you consider the skill for any character that deals physical damage. Next on the list is True Shot Aura and Unleashed Rage. You can choose amongst those two depending if you have some talent points or ability points to spare. For 2 ability essence and 1 talent essence, True Shot Aura will grant you and allied members, your pet included, a nice 5% attack power increase. It is located in the marksmanship tree at level 40, and at this point I would like to mention that Aspect of the Beast is one of the best abilities to increase your attack power as well. Usually I only take a look at talents in this series, but the perks of True Shot Aura are just a bit too similar to this amazing aspect to not mention it here. You can find Aspect of the Beast in the Beastmaster ability sheet. But enough about that, let's take a look at the other contender for the spot, Unleashed Rage. Since True Shot Aura and Unleashed won't stack, you have to decide between them unfortunately. If you rather want to spend more talent essences, 3 in total for the full effect of a 5% attack power increase, you can also go for Unleashed. This talent will become available at level 35 and is located in the Enhancement talent tree. A huge benefit is the 3-point expertise rating increase that will come with it. Still, I personally would not recommend it. At level 60 you have so many magnificent talents to choose from that you want to save up as many TEs as possible. So at the cost of 2 ability essences and 1 talent essence, True Shot Aura is the much better choice here. And for range builds there ain't even a discussion about this for rather obvious reasons. If you are into PvP and like to stack armor, Hunter vs Wild and Armored to the Teeth might be the choice for you. Depending on your armor and stamina value, those skills will grant you some solid attack points. With Hunter vs Wild being the overall better choice here, since it will also increase your pet's attack power and has a better attack per investment ratio overall. But if you have a really sturdy and beefy character, then you can even pick both of them. That should do it for attack power increases. There's some more stuff to be said for shapeshift forms, but I might do a special video about it or include it somewhere else. For now let's take a look at flat damage increase, and to be honest there's nothing too special here. Usually 1 TE spent for 1% increase, and most of the time there are some restrictions that are included. For example, you have to wield a sword or a one-hand weapon or a two-hand weapon, or maybe make your target bleed. That brings me to a skill that is worth mentioning though. At level 60 in the Assassination Rogue tree, Hunger for Blood becomes available. For 2 ability essence and 1 talent essence, you will gain a flat 5% damage increase if there's an active bleed effect on your target. It's an active skill, so you have to include it in your rotation, but since it lasts 1 minute, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, especially considering the amazing attack damage boost for only 1 talent essence. In terms of stat boost, things are rather boring as well. Regarding strength, you can go for divine strength with a pure increase of 3% per talent essence, but I would reckon that the overall better talents for tanking especially are those which increase stamina and expertise too, and those two are vitality and strength of arms. At this point I should mention that depending if you go light or heavy armor, and to some extent depending if you are ranged or melee, stats will have a different effect on your damage increase. Same thing applies if you shapeshift. I don't want to get too much into this right now, but let's just say that if you are ranged or roguelike with light armor, agility is the better choice, and as a heavy plate armor type of guy, you should pick up strength most of the time. It makes sense if you think about it. But with that being said, let's take a look at the talents that will boost your agility. For those I can just say, if you have a melee build, then pick up the first 3: Combat Experience, Sinister Carling and Lightning, with Combat Experience having one of the most efficient ratios. If you have a ranged build, then maybe pick up all of them. Hunting Party is kind of nice, especially if you are in a group, but out of all those talents, it's probably the worst one, and if you are really just into stacking your agility, it's by far the least optimal choice. Okay, I think for now this will be it. Maybe in the next episode I will go a bit deeper into cat form and range DPS. There are some nitty-gritty details that might warrant an extra episode on it. I think for now it's a good point to end it here. We focused a bit more on melee DPS and are pretty much done with that. There's some more things to be said about energy increase, rage increase and melee haste. If you made it this far, huge thanks. I know guides like this can be a bit boring. Still, I hope you enjoyed. For now I say thanks again, bye bye, until next time.